Okay.
So today I'll be talking about the iPhone 5 and why I think it's an excellent option for customers to consider when deciding to purchase a new phone. And tonight, first I'll begin with an introduction, and then I want to ask the class a few questions. And then I'll go over three main points. I think the iPhone 5 is a great reason to purchase, and these include high customer satisfaction, great battery life, as well as how Apple is really well known for their hardware and software integration. And then lastly, I will conclude. So the first question I want to ask you all is what are some features or things you look for when deciding to purchase a new phone?
The camera.
Ease of use.
Anyone else?
So voice clarity.
Open ecosystem.
Okay, and my next question is, how many of you in the room have any iPhone, and what was one of the strong reasons that persuaded you to purchase it?
I have an iPhone 4S, and it's for the music. It's so seamless playing on it.
I have iPhone 5, and the battery lasts for a whole day compared to some of the Android phones.
I have an iPhone 4S and I like the user interface better than yours.
And as you all know, and pretty much representative in this room, there are a wide variety of options now in the market. Options ranging from Apple, Microsoft, as well as the numerous options from Android. And I think the iPhone 5 is a top-tier smartphone for the reasons I mentioned earlier. The high customer satisfaction, the great battery life that Kevin just mentioned, and as well as Apple's seamless integration with the hardware and the software. And as far as customer satisfaction goes, there are many challenges that go into deciding what kind of smartphone you want. And as I mentioned before, the numerous options and fragmentation only makes things more challenging. But if you're looking for a phone with very high consumer satisfaction, look no further than the iPhone 5. This past March, actually specifically March 21st, 2013, J.D. Power and Associates released their recent rankings for most popular smartphone companies. J.D. Power and Associates is a well-known global marketing information firm that specializes in forecasting, performance operations, as well as social media and more specifically customer satisfaction rankings. So this study measured the consumer satisfaction for the iPhone 5, and all of these participants had the device for under a year. And so the satisfaction metrics that J.D. Power measures includes performance, physical design, features, and lastly ease of use. And these were all ranked in order of importance. And according to CNET, a popular technology blog, Apple was actually ranked number one for the 9th consecutive year in a row for customer service. And more specifically, their score was 855 out of 1,000. One interesting thing that I also gleaned from the study was that actually Samsung was not number 2 in customer satisfaction. They were actually narrowly beat by Nokia, which I thought was an interesting fact, because I thought Samsung would be like right behind, either ahead of Apple or right behind Apple on that. And Apple is well known for performing very well in these metrics, for particularly the physical design, as you can see, very thin and light, as well as for the ease of operations, what they're very well known for. And along with high customer satisfaction, the reason Apple enjoys high customer satisfaction, I think it also plays a role because they have excellent battery life. As this picture, as you can see in this picture, for up to 8 hours of web browsing, you can have up to about 8 hours of talk time and approximately 10 hours for video. So a common problem we may all face at some point is not having enough battery life to last us throughout the day. And I know for myself, sometimes my phone dies at the most inconvenient possible time, which I'm sure has happened to many of you here. And the iPhone has a great battery without having but in a small form factor. It's powerful, but yet compact to fit inside of its casing. Apple's scientists were actually able to create a new type of battery that's a non-removable lithium-ion battery that helps to last a longer time. Of course, day-to-day usage is going to vary, and as I mentioned before, you get the 8 hours for talk, 8 hours for video, about 10 for video, and as Ron mentioned, you use your phone a lot for music, right? So you get up to about 40 hours or so for audio playback, which is pretty good. And in my own personal experience, I say with having the GPS enabled or Bluetooth enabled, my phone still lasts throughout the day, and I don't need to run to a charger at any point usually. And Tim Cook said, Apple's in a fairly unique position, and in my view, an unrivaled position, because Apple has skills in hardware, software, and services. Next, I wanted to show a part of a short clip that I think highlights Apple's philosophy about making their products very well. So Apple is not only a hardware or just a software company. Really, Apple is a hybrid. It's both of those. And it doesn't excel at just one aspect, but I think Apple excels at both of those processes. And in my opinion, if you think about having, say, a foreign software on the iPhone, I think that would make that an inferior experience. On Android, that happens very frequently. It's the manufacturer makes the device, and then Google powers the operating system. So there isn't a seamless integration between the software and the hardware as you would see with Apple. And I think Apple provides that total experience, and the integration makes everything much more simplistic and easy to use because they complement one another. Because the hardware was designed with the software in mind and vice versa. The iPhone also comes with high-end internal components as each new version is released. So you know that when you purchase an iPhone, the components will last more than a year. And when asking my own friends and family and conducting my own research, I asked them why they preferred the iPhone 5, and the most common answer I got was ease of use and the simple interface. And to conclude, the iPhone 5 is a top-of-the-line smartphone because of the high customer satisfaction that it continues to receive every year, the stellar battery life, as well as Apple's ability to fuse together hardware with software. And if any of you are possibly looking out to buy a new smartphone, I highly recommend going out to your local Apple store and having a personal hands-on experience.